Hello, and welcome to Introduction to Agile Project Management. By the end of this lesson, our goal is to talk about the importance and evolution of the Agile methodology, elaborate on the meaning and key values of Agile, enumerate the various benefits of using the Agile methodology, and learn the different approaches based on the project life cycle. But before we proceed, it is essential that we understand the meaning of a project. What again is a project? Projects have existed since ancient times, from the construction of the Great Wall of China, the Mayan pyramids, space explorations, and up to present day, where you can witness the construction of buildings rising from various locations from all over the world. In simple terms, a project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. Projects have specific goals and objectives and need to be finished within a fixed time frame and budget. Next, what is project management? Project management is the process of organizing tasks to achieve a project goal. Project managers are responsible for planning tasks, tracking progress, and delivering results. They may use a project methodology to do this. A project methodology is a set of principles and procedures that help you structure your team's workflow. There are numerous project methodologies that we can choose from, but in this course, we'll focus on the two most popular ones. Project management, as we understand it today, has only existed as a formal discipline since the mid-20th century. In the field of computing, people began adopting step-based manufacturing processes for early computer-related projects that relied heavily on hardware. The term waterfall was later coined to describe this approach. In this methodology, each step must be completed entirely before moving on to the next. So for each step in your process to create your product, requirements, design, development, testing, deployment, and maintenance, all of these follow a sequential format. Let's discuss some of its advantages and disadvantages. Some prefer this methodology because it's simple, it's easy to understand and manage, and it operates well for small projects. However, some of its disadvantages include not flexible. As we've mentioned, waterfall follows a sequential or linear approach to software development. One of the reasons why it's not considered flexible is that it does not allow changes to be made easily once the project has moved beyond the requirements gathering phase. Any changes to the requirements, design, or functionality must be thoroughly analyzed and documented, and any alterations to the plan must be approved by all stakeholders before proceeding. And because of the sequential approach, this makes it also difficult to incorporate changes and adapt to uncertainties that may arise during the project. Any change requires going back to the previous stage, which is time-consuming and can cause delays to the project. Scope bloat or feature creep. In waterfall methodology, the customer's involvement is limited to the requirements gathering stage. As a result, the customer's needs and requirements may not be fully understood, leading to additional requirements or changes that were not accounted for in the initial scope. Due to these challenges, people working on projects have recognized the need for a better model over the years, and Agile project management has become increasingly popular in the modern workplace. Agile is an iterative approach to project management and software development that emphasizes flexibility, collaboration, and customer satisfaction. It is based on the Agile Manifesto, which states, individuals and interactions over processes and tools. This means that team members should work together to solve problems rather than relying solely on tools and processes. Working software over comprehensive documentation. This means that the team should prioritize delivering a working product over producing extensive documentation. While documentation is still important, it should not take priority over the end product. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. This means that the team should work closely with the customer to understand their needs and collaborate with them to deliver a product that meets their requirements. This is in contrast to the traditional approach where requirements are set in a contract and the team works to meet those requirements. Finally, responding to a change over following a plan. This means that the teams should be flexible and adapt to changing requirements and circumstances. The team should embrace change and use it to their advantage to deliver a better product. Agile projects require an iterative approach which supports incremental, frequent, and consistent delivery of workable products to your customer or client. In Agile, activities are not necessarily sequential. In this diagram, you'll see that the Agile process is represented as a continuous loop of iterations. The process starts with the planning phase, where the project team collaborates to define the project goals and scope. Then, the analysis and design phase follows, where the development team works closely with the stakeholders to refine the requirements and design the system. The development phase comes next, where the software system is developed in short iterations, typically lasting 1 to 4 weeks. Each iteration produces a working, tested piece of software that is reviewed and refined by the project team. After development, the software system is tested to ensure that it meets the requirements and functions correctly. Once the software is tested, it is deployed to the production environment. Maintenance follows, where the software is maintained and updated to ensure that it continues to meet the needs of the users. The process starts over again with planning, and the loop continues until the project is completed. Now, let's have a simple example here to better understand the process. Let's imagine our project is to build a house. First, we define the scope of the project. Here, we determine what we want to achieve with the house, what features are essential for your needs. For example, you might want a house with 3 bedrooms, a large kitchen, and a backyard. Next, we create a prioritized backlog. We make a list of all the tasks required to build the house and prioritize them based on their importance. For example, you might want to prioritize tasks such as laying the foundation, framing the house, installing electrical wiring, installing the plumbing, and so on. Divide the project into sprints. Here, we divide the project into short iterations or sprints, each lasting for several weeks. Each sprint should focus on a specific set of tasks that can be completed within that time frame. For example, you might want to plan a sprint to install an electrical wiring and a separate sprint to install the plumbing. Next is setting up the team. Here we can assemble a team of experts with a variety of skills required for building the house. We may hire an architect, engineer, contractors, and suppliers. For example, you might hire the architect to design the house, the contractor to manage the construction process, and suppliers to provide materials. Conduct daily stand-up meetings. Here we can hold daily meetings to review progress, identify any issues or roadblocks, and adjust plans as needed. For example, in a daily stand-up, we can discuss any issues with the plumbing installation and adjust plans accordingly. Collaborate and communicate. Encourage collaboration and communication between team members to foster a sense of shared ownership and ensure that everyone is working towards the same goals. For example, you might encourage the architect to work closely with the contractor to ensure that the house is being built according to the design specifications. Prioritize and adjust. Continuously reassess priorities and adjust plans based on feedback, progress, and changing circumstances. For example, midway through the project, we realized that we can't install plumbing if the electrical wirings aren't set up. We then prioritize it in the backlog. We then continue this process until we complete building the house. This innovative approach ensures your project team can consistently deliver concrete products without being delayed by changes and evolving requirements. The key takeaway here is that Agile focuses on delivering the right solution at the right time.